Return to Silent Hill is the most recent entry in the Silent Hill film series and is loosely based on the 2001 video game Silent Hill 2. And honestly, this is a movie that will likely be forgotten very quickly. It genuinely felt like a Hallmark horror movie, one that didn't deserve a theatrical release. I've seen straight-to-DVD horror films from the early 2000s that were far better than this. The story ultimately ends almost exactly where it begins, leaving the audience questioning whether anything we witnessed actually mattered. The film raises an important question. Was everything we saw happening inside James Sunderland's mind, or was it part of his actual reality? Let's break down what the ending really means and then talk about what went so wrong with this movie. Just a heads up, this video contains spoilers. The ending explained. Throughout the movie, we follow James Sunderland as he navigates Silent Hill, avoiding grotesque creatures while following young Laura, all in the hope of finding his wife, Mary. Eventually, we learn the truth: Mary has already died. James' destination is Brookhaven Hospital and later the Lakeview Hotel, where the story reaches its climax. As the film progresses, we drift in and out of different versions of Silent Hill. We see Silent Hill in the past, when it was a thriving town, and Silent Hill in the present, twisted into a nightmare when James was with Mary before she became sick. The town felt alive. After her death, when James returns filled with grief, guilt, and denial, Silent Hill becomes a manifestation of his psychological torment. This strongly supports the idea that most of what we see is happening inside James' mind. Through sessions with his therapist, we discover that James couldn't accept Mary's death. He convinced himself she was still alive, which explains why he kept searching for her. James' guilt runs deep. He left Mary because she was involved in a cult that worshipped her father, and she refused to distance herself from them. Later, when she became terminally ill, James returned, but far too late. In her final moments, he killed her at her request, believing it was an act of mercy. That act destroyed him. Despite his therapist repeatedly telling him to move on, James never truly does. Instead, his mind spirals into darkness. The moment where James drives into the water with Mary's body is symbolic. It represents his refusal to ever leave her again, correcting the mistake he made when he walked out on her in the past. Holding her hand as the car sinks shows him choosing death, guilt, and mental illness over healing. When the film ends with James meeting Mary again at the bus stop right as she's about to leave Silent Hill, it becomes clear that he understands what's happening. Yet, he chooses to relive his life with her over and over. It's a bleak ending. James will never move on. He's trapped in his memories, likely confined to a hospital bed, repeatedly asked by his therapist whether he's making progress, while living entirely inside his mind. Performing art's a good concept, terrible execution. The concept itself is actually compelling, being trapped in grief, choosing memory over reality. Refusing to move forward because of regret, but the execution, extremely poor. My review of the movie: I'll be honest, I went into this movie already expecting it to be bad based on early reviews. Even so, it didn't take long for me to confirm those fears. I gave it 1 star on Letterboxd, and even that felt generous. There are so many issues that it's hard to know where to start, but the biggest problem is how boring and repetitive the execution is. The movie spends most of its runtime watching James walk through Silent Hill, suffering headaches, repeating the same dialogue, not actually moving the plot forward. When the big reveal happens that Mary is dead and James killed her, it doesn't feel shocking at all. It always felt inevitable. Much of the movie feels like filler. The flashbacks add context to James and Mary's relationship, but they're overused and add very little beyond showing a happy relationship slowly falling apart. The cult, one of the main reasons James left Mary, is barely explored. We never learn what they truly believe, why Mary's father is worshipped, or why this cult matters. Dialogue is minimal and repetitive. James constantly saying, "I need to find her," makes every location feel pointless. There's no real sense of danger, no urgency, and no stakes. It honestly feels like watching video game cutscenes without actually playing the game. Ogre CGI, creatures, and missed potential. The CGI is some of the worst I've seen in recent years, and this is 2026. There's no excuse. From the mannequins to the monsters, everything looks cartoonish. The Pyramid Head fight scene is especially bad, completely killing any sense of horror. Most of the outdoor environments clearly rely on green screen, which destroys immersion. The first-person camera shots meant as a homage to the games feel jarring and unnecessary. Yes, there are a couple of jump scares, but they're cheap and predictable. The creatures themselves have no explanation. We never learn where they came from, why they exist, what they represent. If this is all inside James' mind, why are these specific monsters even there? The ending is intentionally open-ended, but instead of feeling clever, it feels confusing and unsatisfying. Clapperboard final thoughts: the performances by Jeremy Irvine and Hannah Emily Anderson don't help either. There's no believable chemistry, and much of the dialogue feels stiff and lifeless, like it's being read directly off the script. Ultimately, Return to Silent Hill fails in almost every category. The only thing it has going for it is the story, and even that isn't original since it's borrowed from the game. This movie isn't worth your time in theaters. Maybe check it out on digital if you're curious, but don't expect much. And that's my review of Return to Silent Hill and the ending explained. If you enjoy movie and TV breakdowns, check out the playlist below. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss future videos. What did you think of the movie? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.